Bria Bond.
I would like to, for those people that are listening or watching tonight, remind them about what the intent of this particular bill is. And the purpose of this bill is to cancel the 2016 triennial general election of the Southern DHB in order to provide until the repeal date for the continuation of the term of office of a commissioner for the Southern District Health Board. I'd also like to point out that this bill would extend the term of the office of a commissioner until the day that elected members of the Southern DHB come into office after the triennial general election in 2019. Mr. Chair, I want to point out that just this afternoon in question time, that I put down and tabled a supplementary order paper that I truly, and New Zealand First absolutely believes, will help find a solution to the position that we are currently finding ourselves in. But I'll get to that shortly. It's been no secret that New Zealand First has not supported this bill. We've absolutely opposed this bill in the first and second reading. There were some amendments through the select committee process that were good amendments that were made that we felt out of those 8 submitters that they were good amendments. I want to, Mr. Chair, bring back the statement that the Minister of Health made in March 2000, and that was recorded, through the Select Committee in March 2016, and I quote from that. And the Minister is quoted as saying, "While the impacts on local democracy are noted, we consider that this is balanced by the need to provide time for the Commissioner to drive the necessary improvements which will benefit the district in the medium to long term," end quote. In other words, what this government is saying is really that they are prepared to sacrifice the democratic rights of Southerners under the guise of being fiscally responsible. New Zealand First does not support this position, and we continue to not support this position. We refute the need to strip back democracy while alternative solutions exist, Mr. Chair. And that's when I'll come to my supplementary order paper that I tabled today. And for those people that are listening and watching tonight, my supplementary order paper proposes in clause 4 particularly, to replace the word cancel in line 4 on page 2 of the bill and put there, integrate a commissioner within the bounds of the 2016 triennial general election of the Southern DHB in order to provide until the repeal date for the continuation of guidance of a commissioner for the Southern DHB. Another area that my supplementary order paper is proposing is under clause 7, and that's the cancellation of the 2016 election of the Southern District Health Board. So I've proposed that we remove clause 7I and replace it with a new clause 7I with the following. The following positions of the 2000 Act shall apply to the Southern DHB in relation to the triennial general election of 2016, explicitly A, clause 16(1) of Schedule 2, which provides for the Minister to appoint persons to hold positions on the board of that DHB that would otherwise be held by elected members, and B, clause 16(c) of the Schedule 2 of the 2000 Act does not apply to the Southern DHB triennial general election of 2016. And the explanatory note that I've put to that supplementary order paper is that the purpose of my SOP is to preserve democratic process in the triennial general election for the Southern District Health Board, while simultaneously providing a reasonable timeframe for the Commissioner appointed in 2015 to continue the scope of work. This supplementary order paper recognises the need for both elected members and an appointed Commissioner to best address the complexity of issues facing the Southern DHB without stripping the right to democratic elections of our board representatives. Now, Mr. Chair, I believe that once again New Zealand First has come to the House offering an olive branch, a solution, given the very fact that the Minister himself supported this in his original intent when he sacked the board, and that was reported in the paper. So I'm calling on the Minister and that national-led government to stick to what the original proposal was and don't strip the people of Invercargill or Otago or Southland their rights to vote. I see my supplementary order paper, sir, as being a win-win situation, not only for the Minister, but also the Commissioner and her sub-commissioners, but also the people of Southland and Otago that deserve their right to vote for their elected health board members in the 2016 elections. Mr. Chair, I've had many constituents come to me since the first and second reading, and they were rather happy that the 2 elected MPs for the National Party in the Invercargill electorate and the Southland electorate made a short call in the second reading. What I got overall, they did. They took their time to look. Mr. Chair?
Bond.
Mr. Chair, and the constituents in Invercargill, they truly believe that they don't want to see the democratic rights stripped away under this National League government, who seems to, predominantly, history tells us, unfortunately, that they're quite quick to actually get in there and fire a board and make promises like they did with the ECAN, sir. I mean, we've been told that the people of Canterbury were going to be given back their rights to vote, and just in the House recently, we've been told that that must be extended again, and that was really disappointing. And that's what we in Southland do not want to see. We don't want to see that we've been given a promise that's actually turns out that it's not actually fulfilled by the minister, and that's a huge concern for us, not just in Southland, but also in Otago, when people come up to me in the street and said, good on you for fighting for our right to vote. I don't want to, or I don't think that we should downplay the importance of what it means to Kiwis to have their right to vote. In my supplementary order paper, and I thank the Labour Party and I thank the Green Party for agreeing to support my supplementary order paper, because it supports the right that we do recognise that there have been some deficit issues on the Southern DHB board, and we are allowing everybody to win with my supplementary order paper that is actually to the betterment of not just the minister, not just the commissioner or the board, but actually ultimately is to the benefit of our community. We're being taught that in order to work together, you should not work alone, that you should join together as a group. And I'm listening to the constituents in Invercargill, I'm listening to the people of Otago when they have supported me in ensuring that I be the voice to stand up for their rights and have the guts to say, don't take the rights of Southlanders or Otagos away by implementing and supporting this bill. Take note of my supplementary order paper and recognise that we can actually all work together for a better outcome and make sure that we don't lose the voice of our rights to vote, Mr. Chair. And I think that's something that's really important and should never be downplayed, never in this House, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Todd Barclay.